Hello Smart Livers. Now if you're watching this video you want to learn how to play the game of roulette. It's very simple, easy and lots of fun. I'm going to start by telling you about the inside placements, then go on to those outside placements. Now the first one I want to tell you about is your straight up placement, and if you put a chip on a number you will get paid out at 35 to 1. Now you can choose where to place your bets. It could be the number 17, it could be an anniversary, it could be a birthday. It's totally your choice as long as it's straight up on the number. And if that number comes in, you are getting paid out at 35 to 1. So you get 35 chips for your one chip. I'll show you what that looks like right here, right now. There you go, 35 chips for your one chip. Now you always get your one chip placement back, and so you get 36 chips in your winner's account there. It doesn't make sense to play every single number on the layout. You get 36 chips back and there are 37 numbers on that layout. Also, you can play more than one chip on the number. So if you put 4 chips on the number and that happened to be the winning number, you will get paid 140 plus your 4 chips back, 144 chips in your winner's account. That's your straight up placements. Now, moving on to your split placement. That covers 2 numbers and pays you out at 17 to 1. So if you place a chip here, you're covering these 2 numbers. If either one of those numbers come in, you're going to get paid 17 to 1. Now you can place a chip vertically or horizontally anywhere on the layout. Covering 2 numbers, getting paid out 17 to 1, your split placement. 17 chips looks like this. So for example, if 14 came in, you would get 17 chips, which looks like that. Not bad at all. Again, you always get your one chip placement back. We start off with a clear layout. In the casino, the winning chip gets left on the layout. We don't do that there. Here, we have to place it back into your account and start with a clean layout for the sake of the computer. So 17 to 1 plus your one chip back. In your winner's account, you'll get 18 chips. Let's move on to the next placement, which is your street placement. Now, that is down the rows here. Street placement pays you out at 11 to 1. So you can place a street placement here or here, anywhere on that double yellow line, covering 3 numbers. There's also 2 street placements. There's one here and one here. Again, covering 3 numbers, 0, 1, 2 for that street placement, or 0, 2, 3 for that street placement. Looking a little bit different than the ones down the rows, but still covering 3 numbers and still getting paid at 11 to 1. You always get your one chip placement back, of course, so 12 chips will be placed in your winner's account for your street placement. Moving on to your corner placement now. Now, corner placement covers 4 numbers. Place a chip on the corner down this middle row. It could be here, it could be here, it could be here. You will get paid 8 to 1. There's also a corner placement here, 0, 1, 2 and 3. Again, looking slightly different, still covering 4 numbers, still getting paid out at 8 to 1. One chip placement back gives you 9 chips in your winner's account. Now the last placement, the inside placement I want to talk to you about, is your 6-line placement or your line placement. Now you place it on the double yellow line and you're covering 6 numbers. So this one from 13 through to 18, those 6 numbers are covered with that line bet. If you want to put a line bet here, you're covering numbers from 19 to 24. You will get 5 chips back for a winning result. You'll also get your one chip placement back in your account, so 6 chips back in your winner's account. They are all your inside placements that we've been through. Now let's look at those outside placements. You have your dozens, your columns and your even money chances. Now the dozens you'll get paid out at 2 to 1 and you're covering 12 numbers. So if I place a chip on the middle dozen, you get paid out at 2 to 1 if a number between 13 and 24 come in. That is your second 12. You also have numbers of your first 12, covering numbers from 1 to 12, or from your third 12, covering numbers from 25 through to 36. So you've got a double yellow line here that shows you where your first dozen, your second dozen, and your third dozen is. Again, 2 to 1 for your payout. So it doesn't make sense to play all 3, because if 0 comes in, all bets are down on those outside chances. Or if you do get a win on your middle column, these 2 are down and that one is a winner, so you'll break even. So it doesn't make sense to play all 3. So play 1 set of dozens, or maybe 2, but it doesn't make sense to play all 3. There are your dozens. Let's go on to your columns, which is another way of playing 12 numbers. Your columns run down, so 1 to 34 is your first column. And again, it pays 2 to 1 like it clearly states on the layout. So if you had a number come up in that first column, you will get paid out at 2 to 1. Covering 12 numbers, paying out 2 to 1. 0 is not included, and again, it does not make sense to play all 3 of those columns. Your first column's numbers 1 to 34. Your second column's numbers 2 through to 35. And your third column's number 3 through to 36. They're your 3 columns, very similar to your dozens. Last placement I want to tell you about is where most people start when they're coming into the game of roulette and they're brand new, and that is your even money chances. You are covering 18 numbers with your even money chances and getting paid even money. So I place a chip on the black and a black number comes in. You are going to get paid 1 chip for every 1 chip you place down on that black. It's as easy as that. Zero's not included in those even money chances, neither red nor black, odd nor even, nor high or low. And it doesn't make sense, of course, to play red and black in the same spin because one will cancel the other out. It doesn't make sense to play odd and even in the same spin for the same reason, or high and low. So you can play a combination of red, even and low, or even red, odd and low. A combination of 3, maybe you just want to play 1. It's entirely your choice. But they're even money chances and they cover 18 numbers, but discounting, that's 0. They're your inside and outside placements there. Now, if you want to join us, you can play with your free fun chips. You get 1,000 fun chips when you play with us here at smartlivecasino.com. Hope you've enjoyed our little chat, and I'll hopefully see you very soon.